Hello and welcome back to Eye on Iowa. My name is Sarah Mueller, a reporter with Forbes. I'm in Ankeny, Iowa tonight, where presidential hopeful Nikki Haley will be hosting a town hall. I spoke with some of the attendees about why they decided to show out tonight.
I'm just a lifelong Republican, always been interested in Governor Haley, and would like an alternative to Donald Trump.
Now you're looking at Nikki Haley, who was under his administration.
Only for a short time, and I think it was a good experience for her to go to the UN. She was serving her country more than serving Donald Trump, I would hope.
And so obviously we've got Trump as a front runner right now, possibly DeSantis. Is DeSantis somebody you're interested in?
I'm not uninterested in him, but I want to know more about Nikki Haley first. I know DeSantis has been very successful in Florida, and he's a Trump alternative, so that's only a positive to me.
Now, Trump obviously won here in Iowa in 16 and in 20. Do you think he has a chance to win again?
Well, he lost the caucus in 16. People forget that. So he's not necessarily completely popular here, but he was the only alternative for president. He has become such a red state. But he would probably win in the general election again. But the caucus, who knows? It can be very different. You know, it's so unique of how people turn out. So Canada just needs to catch fire.
Mm-hmm. And obviously there's a lot of issues on the table right now. What do you care most about this election cycle?
Definitely the economy, interest rates, inflation. Things are going in the wrong direction. Somebody needs to put together a plan to fix that.
And you said you're very interested in Nikki Haley. Obviously we have a lot of other candidates on the table right now. Is there anybody else piquing your interest?
Yeah, Senator Tim Scott, also from South Carolina. I've never set foot in South Carolina, but there you go. And I'll certainly look farther into DeSantis and see what I think like and don't like about that.
Where do you think Iowans are looking this election cycle? If we could face another Trump-Biden face-off, come the general election, what do you think is going to happen?
I believe that something needs to be done in the Republican Party to stop losing suburban women across the country. I'm married to one. She had voted for Republicans most of her adult life. The Trump era has turned that. And I know if my wife's that way, there's got to be thousands and thousands more out there. So somebody has to take the reins away from Trump and stop that hemorrhaging.
What made you want to come out tonight?
I wanted to hear what Nikki had to say, and I would like specifically to hear about a few issues that I would like to hear her thoughts on.
And what are those issues? What are you most concerned about?
Well, she's a woman. I do like that part. I'm all about that. The issues, abortion is one, child care for specifically single moms, and what we're going to do about our debt, how we're going to what
this whole
plan
series
she
that
has.
I'm doing, what do you think other Iowans are concerned about this election cycle?
I think a lot of those issues, I'm on a board for a women's organization, and I think child care is probably number one. Jobs, security, the inflation that we've seen on just cost of living has gone up.
And there are obviously a lot of hats in the ring right now. Is there anybody else you've got your eye out for that you're interested in hearing?
Not really. Not right now. No. Nikki
Not
is.
in the GOP race?
There might be a few. I'm not going to name any names right now, but I'm really interested in hearing what Nikki has to say, and I like that she's a woman. So.
And obviously we are in a state that we have our first female governor in office currently. We've got our first female senator in Joni
Right.
Ernst, and so there's kind of a female powerhouse going on
Right.
now. Do you think that's going to work in Nikki's benefit?
I think it will. I think it'll help. I really do. Yeah, I support our governor, and I think she has done some things for women, and it can't hurt to have a woman in office. So
just to get started, what made you decide to come out today?
Well, I really like Nikki Haley, and I've followed her for some time, especially when she was our ambassador to the United Nations. I think she's articulate and very well spoken, so I want to learn more about her.
And what issues do you feel like are most important to you that you're looking after this election season?
what a good person who can govern and pull people together. I think she's able to do that. The issues are economics, safety, life, all of those. Those are pretty broad issues.
And she obviously worked under Trump's administration. Now they're going kind of head to head. Do you think he hasn't commented on her yet, but do you think she has all the stops to pull?
I don't think she'll be brought into a fight with Donald Trump or anybody else. She'll hold her own and rise on her own good skills.
What made you want to come out and listen to Nikki Haley tonight?
I'm just interested in her as a presidential candidate. For me, I have a lot of respect for her and what she's done up to this point.
Mm-hmm. And what issues do you feel are most important to you as you go into this next election season?
That's I don't know. There are a lot. I would say for us, our son is in the military, so I absolutely, want a candidate and want a president that supports our military. And then, of course, spending I think is a big component for me too, and making sure that from a presidential candidate they are. They have a good plan in place for how we can help with some of the governmental spending and the debt that we have right now.
Obviously, she is the only female GOP candidate. What are your thoughts?
You know what? It's not so much that she's a woman. I just really like how she attacks things. To me, she feels like she gives honest answers, and she's down to earth, and she doesn't try to play the political game, that's important for me too.
What made you want to come out tonight?
I've followed Nikki Haley since she was the governor for South Carolina, and then when she was an ambassador. And so I think it's really important that we have positive female representation in the Republican Party. And I think that she is a great role model for young women, and I'm really excited to see where she goes in her campaign for 2024.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, she is the only female GOP candidate right now. Is there anybody else you have your eyes on?
I mean, everyone's watching for Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, but I was ecstatic when I saw that Nikki Haley was the first one to put her hat into the ring, and immediately I was like, I'm going to back Nikki Haley.
So, I mean, if somebody other like Donald Trump or DeSantis gets the nominee, would you feel comfortable voting for them?
That's a bridge I'll cross when I get to it. I'm a Republican, and I stand for Republican values.